experience.
Hola amigos and welcome along to the circuit to Barcelona, Catalunya in the heart of Spain for the pre-season race for Formula Experience Season 2. My name is Mark of Gaming Alamonda, former PSGL F1 commentator between Season 18 to Season 21, and I'm here tonight to take you through the action here this evening and of course the 6 rounds of Formula Experience Season 2, which will start on May 17 in a couple of weeks' time. This track highly familiar to all the teams, usually because of the vast amounts of testing they do before the season, and of course the Grand Prix, which sometimes does lead to uneventful race. And in terms of the race itself, we've been racing here since 1991. Some very memorable races, such as Senna and Mansell alongside each other in 1991, Schumacher's masterclass in 96 in the wet, and Max Verstappen become the youngest victor of all time for an F1 race win in 2016. This 4.6 kilometer circuit has seen plenty of action through the years, but it is still, in regards, not the most exciting track, but turn 16 to turn 1 on the main DRS straight is where we've seen the majority of the overtakes, but sexy cars going on side by side between turns 3, 4 and 5, and of course some daring overtakes down at the hairpin at turn 10 at the end of the second DRS straight. 18-minute qualifying session as usual with a 33 lap race. 72% of the lap is taken at full throttle, and in terms of your tyre compound choices, your usual soft, medium and hard selection. 0.6 seconds slow are the mediums and 1.3 seconds are the hards. The softs don't last particularly long, so a combination of the medium and hard tyre may be the best route to go, but you know, given the safety cars we normally see, there could be a big variety of different strategies employed during the course of this 50% race. Now just getting underway with qualifying shortly, so we see some nice shots of the garage as the final adjustments are made. And indeed, this is a race where some of the leading lights of PSGL, past and present, will be having a point to prove. Are they still capable, perhaps, of returning to the top level, or will they be best to stay in the retirement home that some of them lie in the moment? So your allocations for this performance-based race today: Ash, Bess and Greeny in the Williams, Big C and QPR Beast in the Toro Rosso, Jamie and Powdy in the Alfa Romeo, Renault Ugi's in Game Freaker, Iran and Flying Roman in the Haas, Yoli Alamanu and Joss in the McLaren, Racing Point is AMS and Free Clubs, Blue Muscati and Mr. Grumpy, who have about 1,000 races between them in the Red Bull, Capello and Simo in the Ferrari, HDEE, the extra E means experience, and Juho Finn, the no assist extraordinaire. He uses a full sim setup on Mario Kart of all things. So then, let's get underway then with this qualifying session, because they are on track and looking ready to go racing here. Nice racing point there. A track that I have myself visited twice for real F1 races. A very nice atmosphere, some excellent views, particularly the general admission areas. And a warm welcome to everyone who has joined the chat already. Good to see you. If you have any questions, leave the hashtag Ask Gaming Alamonda or Ask Venom, whichever one you may want to do. So they're on our laps at the moment, so I think we'll go for a flying lap with one of them, and perhaps let's see, where is Mr. Grumpy? Yeah, he's heading through. So it's about Big C in the Toro Rosso, or should I say AlphaTauri, as it is going to be if the F1 2020 season ever starts. So it's just all filing out on track at the moment. Of course, the main start-finish straight, 1,300 meters in length, so a poor exit from that particular corner will lead to a very low chance of defending against the overtake, and indeed the reverse is true if you get a poor exit, because DRS drains quite infamous here, not quite monster levels, but certainly it's something to think about as they try and break toe. Now in terms of the settings, it's strict corner cutting, full damage as usual, but it is set to clear weather as it is a more casual event. Let's have a look at the driver here. Hulkenberg is on a lap, making his competitive return to the PSGL scene. Having his PS4 died, and it took him about 100 years to get a new one. He's finally back, and it's always good to see the Hulkster around these tracks like this. And perhaps a full-time return to PSGL in the works for the next F1 2020 game being released in July. That would be really good to see. Who else is out there? Well, we've got Game Freaker in the Renault, and I think we'll start with him for a flying lap. So Barcelona, Catalunya, past the famous scoreboard on the right, which is very distinctive. Hard braking for the first corner, along with turn 10, probably the hardest braking zone off the track. And then the absolutely mesmerising turn 3. I tell you, if you ever go to this track, stand on the outside edge of turn 3 and just watch the cars fly by. It is incredible, the commitment and downforce makes it look so easy. Through turns 4 and 5, quite a slow corner, down to third gear for that particular one. Get the telemetry up there, right on board, nice uphill. The elevation increases dramatically after the first sector. And then through the second DRS zone goes Game Freak. Being careful not to go too wide. Easy to put too much wheel on there and spear off to the left and into a definitely embrace of the nearby wall. Looks like a decent lap so far. Game Freak on the hards at the moment. Turns 11, 12, and then 13, and then into the New Holland chicane, which kind of butchers the track. I don't think any driver really particularly likes it. Very easy to invalidate here. Through the final corner then goes Game Freak. What's it going to be? To give us an idea of the hard times. This has been a decent P6, so all the drivers so far setting times on the hards. Cablo 1:20.557. We've got yellows in sector 2, but I think they're just slowing down past the faster cars. Free Gloves has already done a lap. Let's see if there's anyone else out. He's actually got onto the soft straight away, so this may give us an idea of the soft pace. Let's see him. Through the New Holland chicane he goes. What's he going to be? Through the final corner he goes. Oh, bit of grass. Oh, and he cut it. Oh dear. That didn't go well. So Ugi Azim in the other Renault. A well recognisable name. Former PSGL, multiple PSGL F1 race winner and a Formula Performance runner-up as well. And he goes 1 minute 20, 1:50. But I suspect the soft times will be significantly faster than that by the end. Blue Mosquito, big squirm as he went into the power from the back of that Red Bull. Seems to have struggled to go on the power. I think he may be just backing off here a little bit, just getting a feel for the circuit. Here we go then, through the final corner. What's it going to be for Blue Mosquito? This is going to be probably somewhere outside the top 10. No, it's in the top 10. 29th, 3-4. So in terms of the gap at the moment, Ugi's in with a significant advantage, but of course he is the only driver who has set the time on the soft compounds. So that is nearly a half-second gap to Cablo. QBRB's in third. QBRB's, of course, was one of the title challengers back in season 18, which was the first season I covered in PSGL F1. And incidentally, the driver who won the championship is going to be a part of the series, although he is not here tonight, and that is Jamie. Unless, of course, he has a different name I don't know about. I'm trying to think who Free Gloves is. Is that someone, an old PSGL name with a new name? Someone may have to cover me in on that one. And there's a Mercedes way off the track down at turn number 10, but I think he's just trying to get out of the way of some of the fast cars, and it looks like it's Juho Finn or maybe HDE on his outlap. No, I think it's actually Juho Finn because he's still on outlap actually. So let's go and look. QBRB sitting at 1:20.70. Let's see who else is on to the soft run. No else at the moment. We'll see him coming back into the pits, I think. So who else? Well, Juho Finn's on the lap, so let's see how Juho Finn does. Maniacal no assist user. Doesn't matter what the game is, all no assists every single time. So you've got to give him immense credit for that. He's in a Mercedes, which is one of the better cars for a track like this. Well balanced downforce and very good straight line speed. Not quite as good as the Ferrari, of course, on this game, but it's still a pretty strong package all round. So Johan Mace pursuing a surprise, and HDEE will certainly have to be one to keep an eye on as well. Yellow's in sector 1, and I think that's just one of the cars slowing down, although someone has gone off, and that is Simo. Simo has gone off down at turn 12. Well, that's not ideal. A few shrugs from the Scuderia pit crew on the camera. Not impressed with the driving from Simo there. In many ways, though, Formula experience isn't so much about who wins it, although I'm sure all these drivers will love the bragging rights of winning it in the end. But it is almost a celebration of some of the names who have helped make this community what it is, on and off the track. Let's see who else is out there. Well, Powdy's in the pits. He's fitted some mediums, so he'll be out soon. And let's actually hope invalidates a lap, so he's back in. CC Brain on for another lap. Of course, the hards can do multiple laps, and it looks like CC Brain may have invalidated. Oh no, he didn't. He's got a time in there. P8, and Maxi Luca goes up to P7. He's done 4 laps on these hards. I tell you what, the drivers who have set this many laps on these hards, they won't want to invalidate their final runs later, otherwise they will be, they're in the top 10, they're going to be in a bit of trouble because they'll be on old tyres straight away. So they carry on, some of these drivers. So at the moment, QPRB is just ahead of Ugi Azim. That's an impressive time from QPRB. Is actually giving them some hards. But I think Ugi Azim, looking at the way he was driving, he didn't look like he was fully committed. Ugi Azim now going for the medium run. So he will be likely the first driver. What about Powdy? Powdy ahead of him, maybe actually. Yeah, so Powdy's going to be actually the first driver. So let's keep an eye on Powdy's progress. Across the line then to start another lap here of the Circuit de Catalunya. Powdy currently P18. Of course, that 2.5 second gap not representative of his true pace. He's just kind of getting a feel for the circuit. So just behind him is Ugi Azim. So Powdy and Ugi will be a direct comparison for the early pace setters on these medium tyres, and I suspect a lot of other drivers will be fitting those tyres. And so Ugi Azim did his best time on the softs. So then, here we go then, Powdy. Through turn 4, turn 5. So Toro Rosso just behind him. I believe that is Big C, the 7-time PSGL F1 champion. There's a lot of champions on this grid today, and it's quite fitting to see some of these champions of the past, given the amount of new champions being crowned across PSGL in the very recent past. New PSGL F5 champion Jack Tyler and Jan Opner, of course, ending the domination of Blizzard and Lewis, who had completely had control of that PSGL F1 title for so many seasons, winning 5 between them. So here we go then, Powdy. What's it going to be? 1:20.070 to beat. I suspect if Powdy gets this right, this is going to be the first time into the 1 minute 19s. Around the final corner he goes. We'll go straight to Ugi Azim. And there's a 1:19.015. 1:19.5 from Powdy. And here comes Ugi Azim. Is he going to best this? He does not. He improves by quite a bit, but not enough to take the throne away from Powdy. So a decent lap from Powdy at this stage. And the likes of QBRB's coming out now. More medium tyres being fitted. CC Brain, we see in the Williams garage getting those medium tyres fitted. Last of those who have been doing 100 laps on the hard tyres coming back into the pits to fit a tyre of choice. Will any of them go for a cheeky punt on the softs to get a glory pole position? Some of these drivers might be tempted to do so, given the safety cars we often get here, but still, starting on the softs is really not the favourable strategy here. Now, Big C still out there. Maxi Lucas on 6 laps on those hards. He must have fueled a lot. It's more like a test session for him. Here he's done 7 laps on those mediums, so that's pretty impressive. Now, given the time that QPRB's got on the hard tyres, only being half a second off, that's around the delta time difference between the hards and the softs. So if QPRB can kind of nail the lap, he should possibly gain at least 7/10 of a second on his hard time. So he could be a real threat. So through sector 1 he goes. He's off the pace. He's invalidated. That's a blow. Does he have the fuel to go again? Well, we'll have to keep an eye on him. Still quite a few drivers. Ugi Azim back in the pits again. It's a shame. It's a shame, QPRBs, but if he's got the fuel, he should be able to go again. So your current top 5: Powdy, Ugi Azim, QPRBs, Blue Mosquito, Big C, and then the rest of the top 10: Mr. Grumpy, Caplo, Greeny, Maxi Lucas, CC Brain. 1.2 seconds covering the top 10, but I suspect those gaps will certainly narrow as we reach the climax of this qualifying session for the pre-season round of Formula Experience Season 2. So Powdy with the advantage at the moment, just ahead of Ugiazin, and he's come back into the pits and he's actually fitted the softs. So that is interesting. Strategically, it is better to start on the mediums. But, you know, this event is a little bit more casual, so they think, you know what, I'm going to go for that pole position. There is enough time for it. QPR Beast is going again indeed. Let's see if he doesn't cut the corner this time. And what about Flying Throne? He's on a flying lap. Flying Throne has gone nearly 0.3 of a second quicker than his current best time. What about QPR Beast? Heading through turn 3. Such a fantastic corner to watch a Formula 1 car go through. And nearly 0.3 up himself on his best time. So he's on the march. And it's a purple sector for QPR Beast on those mediums. We'll go back to Flying Throne. And Simo is just behind him. As is, no, Cablo's on an outlap actually. Up ahead of him is the Racing Point of Free Gloves actually. Yeah, so Free Gloves heading through the final sector. So we're going to compare a few more of these times because once they finish these laps, they're probably not going to get time to go again. Only 3.5 minutes, less than 3.5 minutes left on the clock now. So let's have a look then. Through the final corner he goes. What's it going to be for Free Gloves? It's P3 and Flying Throne right behind him. What's it going to be for him? It's P5. So a very good effort from him and trying to get QPR Beast. QPR Beast rounding the final corner. He's much up on both his first sectors. Could be pole for this one, and it is 1:19.449. So a really good lap from him. And there's some other drivers coming through now. And that's and it's Simo who goes P5. Simo in the Ferrari P5. He'll be absolutely delighted with that lap time. So we've got the two. It's Grumpy that's coming out. No one that is attempting a soft tire, so I think it was almost some kidology in the pit lane. But yeah, very interesting top 5. 5 different cars in the top 5. Well, in fact, it's 7 different cars in the top 7, so that's really good to see. So Mr. Grumpy in P9. If there are any other drivers, no, he's going to be the first to cross the line. Hulkenberger's in the pit lane, so he's not going to go again. I think the next driver will be Iran. Iran's on an outlap, so he'll be going again. His teammate gets out of the way, as you can see on the track map. So Mr. Grumpy round the final corner for Red Bull Racing. Will Christian Horner punch the air into light? Yes, indeed he does. P4 for Mr. Grumpy. So that is an excellent lap time there. Still got quite a few drivers out there on their outlaps. Game Freaker, all cats are grey. Unusual sort of name there. Let's give Iran some much needed TV time. The Joey Exotic of PSGL. Through the opening corner he goes. The most experienced driver, at least I think he was until Big C beat his record recently for most PSGL F1 appearances. A 3-time PSGL F1 champion, of course. And he's won other categories in the community as well. But one of the primary organisers of this experience event. And he looks promising so far for him. It's currently P17. He won't be happy with that at all. That's where he ends up. Looks like Blue Mosquito, P7 he's gone up to. So good outing I should say for the two Red Bulls. And carry on here, and there's quite a lot of traffic up ahead. Let's hope they get out. Whoa, that was close. Goodness me. Nearly got caught out there. Iran carries on. More drivers finishing their sessions. Got a McLaren going across the line. That is all cats are great. Just getting it over the line in time. Juliana Manu also crossing the line. So keep an eye on the two McLarens. They're going to be finishing very late. So here we go then. Iran heading for the line then. What's it going to be? Is it going to be good enough for anywhere near pole? I don't think it's going to be good enough for pole, but it's going to be good enough for a top 5. Very good. So just behind him we've got the likes of Game Freaker. Oh no, it's not Game Freaker. I should say it is Ugi Azim on the softs. Oh, and Cablo goes pole. A 1:19.411. Big C is out there. Maxi Luca in the final sector. QPR Beast has actually gone multiple laps on that medium tyre. That's an interesting strategy. So Maxi Luca heading for the line. Can he improve? No. Oh, Maxi Luca does improve. A 1:19.306. We call him just in the nick of time. Big C crosses the line. It's pole for Big C. Oh my goodness. What a lap. What about Powdy? Powdy's crossing the line now. He improves, but not enough to get into the top 5. So Big C at the moment in pole position. But what about... it is Johnny Amanu, P3. What about All Cats Are Grey? Cross the line he goes. It is P7. All Cats Are Grey. I'm just going to call him All Cats. It's much easier. No, Cat. I'll just call him Cat. Now Greeny LFC, one of the last drivers across the line, I think, who's actually on the... Oh, and he's gone for a day at the beach. Into the gravel he goes. And that is no good for him. But Ugi Azim is out there. Where's Ugi Azim? Across the line. Ugi Azim on the softs. A 1:19 flats. Ah, there you go. Ugi Azim. He wanted the glory run and he has got it. Ugi Azim gets the pole position here in Spain. Viva España for that Renault driver. Fantastic. Well, that was a pretty exciting end to that qualifying session. And as I said, the times have definitely tightened up. It was 1.2 seconds between the top 10 before the final runs. And it's actually now a mere 7/10 covering the top 10 now. So that is just shows you the wealth of experience and perhaps even ability still on show by some of these ancient drivers. And yes, I admit I say that ironically, as I'm probably way older than most of these drivers on the grid. But, you know, playing a safe, and there's a Ferrari for some reason. Oh, hang on. Whoa, that did not mean to do that. Don't think I can actually select Cablo anymore. No, can't. Yeah, it's Ferrari just binned it there. Ugi Azim, what an excellent effort from him. We'll definitely give him. Ugi Azim may be gambling on an early safety car because, from a strategic point of view, well, you know, who cares about the tactics? It's a pre-season race. It's more about getting a feel for the game again. Some of these drivers haven't played the game in a long, long time. So here we are then. Spanish Grand Prix qualifying for pre-season Formula experience. Ugi Azim taking pole from Big C, Maxi Luca. So Jolian Amanu, QPRB, so all PSGL F1 race winners, all champions in the top 5. Caplo in P6, Powdy in P7, Formula Race of Champions winner, all Cats in P8, Mr. Grumpy in P9, Game Freak in P10, Iran in a disappointing P11, Flying Frome in P12, Free Gloves in P13, Simo and Blue Mosquito 14 15, CC Brain 16th, and the final 2 rows of the grid, Greeny LFC, Ace DEE, and then Hulkenberg and Juho Finn round up the grid. Oh, so very interesting stuff there, and just on your screen at the moment, these are the official teams for PSGL F1 Experience, and we have Big C and QBR Beast. They're going to be in a team. Then Greeny and Ugi Azim, Iran and HDE, 100% Gunda, Irish Stew with Salty Fries, Game Freak and Powdy, Jamie and Juho Finn, although Jamie's not here today, one of the reserves are on Golden Corpses. Blue Gloves, Blue Mosquito and Free Gloves, that's quite a clever name. Cablo and Simo, Nappy Caddies, one of they're expecting to be at the back every race. Father and Son, Flying Frome and Ashbess. Silence is Golden, AMS and Mr. Grumpy. It's probably because they don't really like ever doing interviews. Joliana Manu, the reigning Formula Experience champion, with Josh, aka Boy with No Face, who is also not here today. He's one of the reserves. Hulkenberger being one of the reserves, of course. So yeah, some very experienced teams there for your viewing pleasure. So here we go then. Formation lap, as ever, for 50% race. 33 laps here for these races here at Catalunya. So Ugi Azim will be very familiar with some of the drivers behind him, the likes of Big C, Maxi Luke and Jolly Anamanu and QBR Beast. They have many battles over the years in PSGL. So I guess the most fitting grid for this may well have been Iran and Big C on the front row, but alas, it wasn't to be. But Ugi Azim, a worthy pole sitter. But he probably messed up his race strategically because of that tyre choice. But who cares? Should be fun to watch. You'll get a decent start until the tyres die after the second or third lap. So outside the top 10, Iran on the mediums, Flying Frome on the hards. So a contrasting strategy from Gunther Steiner at Haas, and Free Gloves and Simo just behind them So a mixture of hards and medium tyres, as you'd expect. I think starting on the mediums is a more aggressive the strategies, looking to make up some positions, and that will certainly be true of those towards the back of the grid. So Bowdy in P7. No stranger to success in PSGL. As mentioned, a former Race of Champions winner here. A race actually commentated on. It was a pretty strange race, actually. It came down to a bizarre incident in the pit lane where a wrong tyre was picked or a glitch or something like that, and it gave Howdy a huge advantage at the end. So here we go then. Gathering the field onto the grid. Who will triumph here today like an elite bullfighter, and who will fail like a god-awful tapas? We will see in a few moments' time as the grid forms. Race control, making sure everyone's in their slots, and hopefully we get a decent camera angle for the start of the race. Are you excited? Because I am. We're about to get racing once again in PSGL. Here we go then. 3, 4, 5 lights. Vamos, vamos, Español! We are underway here in Barcelona. It's a decent start from Ugi's team, but look out, Big C getting through the gears a little bit better, maybe challenging for turn 1 with the McLaren just behind. And the Big C, will he have the inside? Oh, Ugi's team brakes better. The traction of the softs aiding him. Will there be any contact behind? Yeah, one of the McLarens getting struck slightly. One of the Williams going off. I think that was Greeny LFC. Sweeping through turn 3 for the first time. Ugizi maintains the lead from Big C. Joliana Manu. QPR Beast has got ahead of Maxi Luca. Cablo has maintained his P6. And behind it is the McLaren and Red Bull going side by side into turn 5. And oh my goodness, Allcats nearly outbraking himself into the side pods of that Ferrari Cablo. They're still going side by side into the following corner. Back into 6 and 7. And in the end, oh no, Allcats using up one of his 9 lives. He has lost several positions already, and Aaron's going to be fancying a little bit of that action. Here we go on board with a 3-time PSGL F1 champion. Allcats trying to get a place. And look at that. Aaron's trying to gain both of them at the same time. Oh my goodness, slight contact. Can Aaron take both of them? In fact, I think he's going to maybe get his teammate. He's got better traction on this medium, and yes, he does. It was a half great move, half clumsy move. But Aaron up to P10 and into the points. So decent start from Aaron from the back of the grid. So through the final corner they go for the first time. We eventually catch them. Ugi team leads. Big C, Joliana Manu, QPR Beast, Maxi Luca, Cablo, Mr. Grumpy, Game Freaker, Powdy, and Aaron making up the top 10 for the time being. Any movement down the field, any overtakes? Let's have a look at Free Gloves. Any movement at all? No, not the zone. And already the top 6 starting to gallop away from the Ferrari Cablo. Has Cablo got some sort of damage maybe? Is that why? No, he's got no visible damage, but Mr. Grumpy putting him under all sorts of pressure already. Look, a half look as they enter turn 4 for the second time. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of overtaking, you would suspect, when the DRS is activated at the end of this lap. And Cablo a little bit off the pace at the moment, which is surprising given that the Ferraris want to strong. Oh, he goes mega wide, and that's going to put him under even more pressure. So the top 5 scampering away from the Ferrari. So there's kind of a multiple trains forming. So the top 5 and then 6th down to, well, 6th all the way down to 20 if it's a single train. So Cablo, well, it's going to have to get onto the pace quickly and try and get within DRS range of Maxi Luca. And he goes very deep. Oh, his car is not set up very well. And look at this. Cablo's been overtaken into turn 11 by Mr. Grumpy, which releases the Red Bull driver to chase after Maxi Luca, but they're 1.6 seconds behind the top 5, so Grumpy's got to try and get away. But yeah, Cablo really struggling, and Game Freaker massively cutting the New Holland chicane there, picked up a warning there. And here we go then, it could be a potential free wide here. Riding on boards, Cablo seems to have good straight line speed, and Alfa Romeo, of course, has Ferrari power, so he slams past the Renault, and that's going to be a position gain for Powdy. Into P8 he goes. And up ahead, Mr. Grumpy. He'll be trying to get away from Cablo. Doesn't want to get dragged into these battles again. So Cablo maintaining P7 for the time being. Watch out. Game Freaker being challenged by Iran. Iran not able to overtake there, just having a look. But he gets the switch back to close in a little bit. A little bit twitchy. And here comes Iran down the inside. A vintage move from the three-time champion. Lock of the tyres from Game Freaker. But Iran's going to have the inside for the following corner at 7. And gets the move done. That's an excellent move from Iran. So up to P9 he goes. May still be under a little bit of pressure though from Game Freaker, but Game Freaker backs off. He's not going to be able to make a move there. Just behind them, Blue Mosquito closing in on all cats, but not able to get very close to them. So I think when they come round for the next time, when they'll have DRS, and look at that, Cablo has lost another place. He may be about to lose another place. Oh my goodness, he's all over the place. It's like Luca Badoa's driving this Ferrari. What on earth is going on there for the Newcastle native? Not like Cablo. Cablo, fairly smooth driver normally, but look at this, Game Freaker and Iran going side by side into the New Holland chicane. Oh my goodness, it's a M25 traffic jam here with roadworks. It's not looking very well for them. So let's have a look at Cablo. Cablo is under pressure, perhaps. No, not under that much pressure. And behind, what about Blue Mosquito? Blue Mosquito right behind. This is a serious train Cablo's forming here. It's giving us great entertainment. Top 5 is as you were. We will switch to them, but I just want to see because there's going to be a few more moves among this lot, that is for sure. Hulkenberger 2 seconds I'd say off Juho Finn, so P18, P19 kind of losing touch a bit. Side by side Simo and All Cats, and here comes Simo. Can Simo go for a move down the inside? No, All Cats maintains position, although that may be All Cats actually gaining a position, I'm not sure. In terms of your winners and losers and position change, Mr. Grumpy's gained 3 places, so a really good start for the Red Bull driver. And Duo Vince gained 3 from the back of the grid. Biggest loser, All Cats, that mistake on lap 1 costing him 4 places from the start of the race, so he'll not be happy at all with that. So in terms of the tyres choices, well, no pit stops yet, although Ugi Azim, those soft tyres will not be looking too healthy in the next couple of laps. Let's have a look then. Has there been any sort of indication? Yes, here we go. And I think Ugi is beginning to struggle on those tyres. Here comes Big C, the winner of the Formula Performance Race Finale Brazil yesterday. And he's going to slingshot past with ease the Renault with that DRS. And let's go straight to Iran because Iran is now going to challenge the Ferrari for position. And this could be a routine overtake. He's going to go later on the brakes. The Ferrari's got nothing really to play with. And behind him, Flying Throne overtakes Game Freaker, so the Haas cars on the move. And actually, Cablo, to be fair to him, got the power really nicely and was able to maintain the position. So really good work from Cablo to keep the 3-time champion behind him. And the Game Freaker all over the back. Flying Throne as he attempts to regain the position he just lost to the Haas. So a decent outing for the Haas drivers at the moment. And look at this, the Racing Points battling away with the Mercedes. Duo Finn attempting to get ahead of Free Gloves to gain his 4th position of the race from the back. And we're going to go straight to Juliana Manu, because Juliana Manu looking to make a move. Oh, and he's certainly looking to make a move. Bang, bang, the wheels go. Oh, bang, bang, indeed. Oh, Ugi Azim is round. Ugi Azim is round. Oh, there he is. Mr. Grumpy says, see you later. Gains another place. But that was a beautiful pirouette from Ugi Azim. But that's a clear sign that those soft tyres are dead and buried. He needs to go back into the pit lane right now to get those sorted. As Big C with his first clear lap, 2-second gap for Julian Manu. That's the fastest lap of the race. And here comes QPRB's Ugi Azim opting to stay out for some reason. Probably has no choice. And oh my goodness, Grumpy's got no speed. QPRB's going to take both of them. Or at least he's going to try and take both. They're going to go side by side. What on earth happened to Mr. Grumpy's frontline speed? Unless he was trying to let him through. Well, he's clearly not. He's battling him. Toro Rosso versus Red Bull. Normally the Red Bull comes out on top, but this time it is QPR Beast who moves up to P5. Or P4, I should say. Can Grumpy come back at him? No, he cannot. So some pretty chaotic action in the last 2 minutes or so. Iran's still unable to get past this Ferrari. He will be getting rather frustrated. Here's a sponsor for the day, Joey Exotic, looking on not too impressed with the Haas driver's efforts so far. Mr. Grumpy in a solid P5, but I mean QPR Beast did have like double slipstream and the DRS almost, so he was coming at a fair rate of knots. He did well to get the car slowed down, and as a result, he gained 2 places. So back up the order he goes. Ugi Azim, well, surely he'll be thinking about pit stop, but Big C is running away with this. 3-second gap at the moment. Did say on Twitter earlier that it could be potential favourite after his performance in the Performance League last night. It's carrying on. Now, what about Ugi Azim? Is he under pressure from Pauli? What about Iran? Can Iran finally get past this dastardly Ferrari of Cablo? It's been a bit of a roadblock, but no, straight on speed is equal, of course, between these 2 Ferrari-powered engines, so it's very difficult. Oh, and Cablo! Oh, Cablo, he's gone mega wide. And that's how you do it. Iran pressured him so much, Cablo couldn't take it anymore. Down to P9 he goes. And a few familiar drivers in the chat here. Callum Anderson, Zaxer, and Blizzard, former PSGL F1 champion, of course. So good to see you guys here. We're just on board with Blue Mosquito. He's in P15 at the moment. What about Powdy? Powdy's looking for a move maybe on Ugi Azim? No, not for the time being. Just behind him. Cablo's recovered somewhat. He's now within a second of Iran again. Perhaps he'll have an opportunity to repass the Haas on the main straight, because the superior downforce for him may give him a chance to slingshot the final corner, put him under pressure. Perhaps Cablo's running less wings. Maybe that's why he's struggling through these slower corners. No, he's not going to be anywhere near Iran. I think Iran, in fact, will. Yeah, Iran's over a second ahead. He might still get DRS. Let's have a look. Yeah, still gets DRS. So that'll aid him in his defence from the McLaren behind. Mr. Grumpy right on the back of that Red Bull. Toro Rosso, oh, and QPRB slides wide. Oh, they touch slightly. Is Grumpy going to go down the inside of the Toro Rosso? No, he can't. So has to maintain the position for now. Well, apologies, just had a phone call, but I declined that. There's no time for phone calls right now with all this action going on. So this is the scrap below the midfield. It's been kind of as you were for a while. CC Brain, Simo, 2 Ferraris are kind of holding up a lot of people in this race, but they're having some good scraps out there. CC Brain ahead of Blue Mosquito. CC Brain, of course, a former PSGL F1 race winner. Blue Mosquito, of course, as well, with the very distant pass. Big C now 3.4 seconds ahead. As Max Luca, though, sets the fastest lap. So he's done a faster lap than Big C in the previous lap, so that's pretty decent. Let's get the track. There's not too many incidents so far. Look at that, QPRB now closing in on Julian Amanu. He's now broken the DRS on the Red Bull driver. Game Freaker's got back ahead. No action there. Ooh, big square off the curves. Yeah, so the main battle on track is for the final podium position. That is Julian Amanu, the reigning experienced champion. Head of QPRB. In season 18 in particular was highly successful. A couple of race wins. A bit more confident on the wheel. John Emenu maybe a little bit rusty. Here comes QPRB. He's going to go for a move down to the hairpin. I think he's perfectly entitled to, and it's going to be a very comfortable overtake. And John Emenu getting back on the switchback. No, doesn't have quite the traction to do so. Still a fair while left for these guys who are pitting. QPRB's looking very handy. Both Toro Rosso drivers very handy, actually, has to be said. Aaron going side by side, but Ugi Azim gets ahead of him. Oh my goodness, and look at that! Allcat's going to... Well, Ugi Azim boxed in the Ferrari, and as a result, Allcat said thank you very much and took both positions. Ugi Azim's, well, his soft tyres are complete, and he's got a puncher! Oh goodness me, he's got a puncher! The Royal Vindy Express has fallen off the rails. Needs to get another tyre there for sure. Have a look at Game Freak. Game Freak is trying to pressure Flying Chrome again. Simo just behind. Blue Mosquito right on the back of the Williams. To say, CC Brain's doing a remarkable job to keep Blue Mosquito behind. Williams is a garbage car at this track. Well, it is at most tracks, to be fair. No, Caesar Rain maintains a position. So we've had some pit stops. Museums for so much time though with that puncher. I think that's why he was suddenly so slow. It must have gone in the final sector. Suddenly he lost all that time. This QR Beast is really starting to pull in. Maxi Lucan is dragging Mr. Grumpy along with him. Let's give it a ball for a few more moments. So he's behind the Renault of Game Freaker. Oh, and he's been hit from behind by Free Gloves. Just saw Blue Mosquito going wildly out of control on the steering wheel, and that was why. Got gored in the side by a Racing Point. It's normally the ball doing the goring to other people. As Mr. Grumpy sets the fastest lap of the race. And is he making an attempt to get past QBR Beast? It looks like he may well be. No, not quite close enough. Both Racing Points have come. Oh, dearie me. This hasn't worked out well for Racing Point. Oh, no. That has not worked out well. They're double stacking. Here comes Greeny looking for a late lunge on Duho Finn. And oh, that is a brilliant move. Fair play, Duho giving him the space, but Greeny absolutely gave it everything for that and takes the position away. Can Duho come back at him? Duho's having a think about it. Really didn't take too kindly to that, but no, does not. Well, the double stack at Racing Point has really hurt them. No experience being shown here from a strategy point of view. Hockenberger might get lapped at this rate. Big C, 4.5 second gap now on Maxi Lucan, who's had a dreadful lap. He's now being caught rapidly. And now look at this, Mr. Grumpy going side by side almost, but with his Orbis. Oh, and he's kind of coaxed QBR Beast into a mistake. Yellow in sector 2, and that is the Mercedes Duho Finn. Oh, Mr. Grumpy has made contact from behind and spins off. Oh, he's on the grass. The world's most expensive lawnmower doing a decent job on the vegetation there, but Mr. Grumpy, well, he'll be deeply frustrated with that. Definitely a racing incident. I don't think anyone was to blame there, but just a slight bit of contact. Powdy thinks, well, with that Red Bull out of the way, let's pit the Alfa Romeo, and that's actually not too bad a shout. So we look down the order, flying through. It's a lot. Drives behind, Game Freaker, looking for a move on the Haas. We're going to go on board with Simo, the mid-tier veteran to PSGL. Key member of the community, of course. Also remembered for those fantastic graphics in terms of the map trackers, which was done long before it was a thing in Codemasters. So a real technical innovator for PSGL. Up ahead, we have a battle going on, and oh, Mr. Grumpy's really struggling now. He lost his wing. I thought he had for a second, but no, he's all right. Has he had another off somewhere? Tyrrell's ahead of him. No love lost between Mr. Grumpy and Iran, and this is proof of that because, oh, Mr. Grumpy backed off. Iran very late on the brakes, expertly done. Oh, well, that wasn't expertly done. Iran's just been given a punt. Oh, dearie me, he would not have appreciated being done up the rear like that. All cats. Well, he's had a pretty frenetic race. He's been all over the place. Nearly outside the top 10. Now he's fighting in the top 10 once again. QBR Beast pits them from P3. And had a huge gap in the end. So he's looking for a podium, to be honest, it has to be said. So quite a few drivers now making their first stops, which will likely be their one and only stop. So Game Freaker pits them. He'll be coming. Powdy's going to be ahead of Jolly Animal. If we can get ahead of Ogie Azim, that would probably be good news for him, but Ogie Azim's actually done pretty well considering he lost that time on the puncher. He's actually going to get ahead of these guys. And Ogie Azim chasing Jolly-Anna Manu, but 6.68 line. He's lost so much time. Here got ahead of Mr. Grumpy again. All catch just behind him. Cablo has kind of steadied the ship a little bit. He was losing places left, right, and centre, but he is now flying frame and Simo behind him, but he hasn't lost any more places, so that's good. Let's have a look behind. Flying frame, oh, well, I say that, he's maybe about to lose a place, and Blue Mosquito challenging Simo behind. Oh my goodness, oh, Caplo spins, oh, he spins, he gets tagged by his teammates to straighten out the car again, so that was certainly So don't forget, these are teammates for the night. They are, well actually no, Simo and Cablo are in a team. As Big C and Maxi Luca pit. Now, this is interesting. Are any of the drivers going to stay out? No. Lots of pit stops here in Grumpy. All cats coming in. Flying Chrome's going to stay out. So there's going to be some traffic then, potentially. What about QPR Beast? He pitted earlier. Has he gained any sort of time? Oh, and Big C is coming right into some traffic. That's going to hurt him just a little bit, although he's still going to have the net lead. He still has a comfortable gap. Well, Simo, well, he had no downforce whatsoever. Misjudged turn 3 completely. Easy move for Big C. Here comes Blue Mosquito down the inside. And up to P3. So Big C comfortably in the net lead at the moment. But Maxi Luca saying out that a little bit extra time has definitely given QBRB a big advantage. This is the battle for a net P2. No sign of a safety car so far. Juho Finns, that's a fast lap of the race, a 1:22.148. So he's showing he's got a bit of pace. Now, interestingly, Big C is closing in on Flying Throne. Now, it's almost a shame it's not Iran, because Iran would have made life very difficult for Big C to get past. Well, maybe not. Blue Mosquito, of course, hasn't pitted yet. He's on the alternate strategy. He's effectively pits behind us. Greeny gets out of Simo. Greeny's had a difficult start to the race, but we've seen some good moves from him. Gradually getting to grips with it. Can Simo get back ahead of the Williams? You would think the Ferrari has a fair chance of that. It's got a massive point advantage. I think we're going to focus. Actually, let's keep an eye on this. Simo's going to try and get ahead of the Williams. Greeny's going to try and defend it. Can Greeny go late on the brakes? Yes, he does. Look at that expert braking there from Greeny. Brilliant. Look at that. QBR Beast alongside Maxi Luca and makes the move done. So as it stands, it's a Toro Rosso 1-2, and they are also teammates. So if this was a championship points, it's a potential 1-2. These two were, of course, teammates in season 18 as well of PSGL F1. And I think they did win the Constructors' Championship that season as well. Well, Big C is now caught onto the back. Flying Throne. This could be a very routine overtake. Throne picks up a time penalty. Imagine that. Flying Throne picking up a time penalty. Well, I never. So, Big C. Ball, Blue Mosquito just looking ahead. Look at that. Now they're battling again. Maxi Luca got the Ferrari up ahead. This Ferrari's going to really box them in, and actually may put Paoli back into a bit of play. Simo holding up the Toro Rosso and the Alfa Romeo. It is inevitable that these two will get ahead. Simo will try and at least make it. Well, here comes QBRB trying to get the move done before the New Holland chicane. Simo really struggling for grip there. Here comes Big C then. It's going to slingshot ahead. Then I'm going to go straight back to the battle behind. Here comes QBR Beast. Can Maxi Luca follow through as well? I think he will have to keep in this battle. Oh, Simo goes very wide, and Maxi Luca didn't actually have to work that hard to get ahead in the end. And oh, actually, look, Simo's actually missing part of his wing. I think that may have happened with that earlier collision with his teammate, possibly. It's very much a race of two halves, but Big C has an enormous advantage at this point. I'm not sure what the gap is. Big C, here we go, that's a good idea. So 7.2 seconds effectively is the gap between the leader and QBRB, who is in the net P2. So Big C is absolutely dominating this race at the moment. He's got all the confidence he's taken from that race at Interlagos in the form of performance yesterday. He's really brought it here today. Mr. Grumpy picks up a 3-second time penalty. So Flying Throne, Blue Mosquito and Greeny are the lead drivers who still haven't pitted. Now scrapping away as Simo gets absolutely mucked off by Paoli and Giuliano. Giuliano was in the final, but he's really gone off the boil. From sort of the middle part of the first stint, Big C sets a fast lap race of 1:21.988. So Simo finally gives up the ghost. And Blue Mosquito then going to try and make a move on Flying Throne. Two very familiar foes. Down the inside he goes. Simo picks up a 5-second timers for speeding in the pit lane. It's going from bad to worse for him. And here comes Giuliano Manu down the inside of Paoli up to P7 and a net P4 at the moment. Nice overtake. Ugazim's just been overtaken, I think, by all caps. Down to P12, the pole sitter, just demonstrating perfectly the folly of starting on softs here in a dry race. So now the focus now will be on QBR Beast and Maxi Luca, because they'll be probably closing in the gap to Greeny. It may have an effect on the battle. Juliana Manu and Powdy out of the fight for the podium. Some work to do. Powdy just behind. So your current top 10. Big C, Blue Mosquito, Flying Foam, Greeny LFC, QBR Beast, Maxi Luca, Juliana Manu, Powdy, Mr. Grumpy, and Iran F1 in P10. Some of these guys will be gaining some positions soon because Blue Mosquito, Flying Foam, and Greeny LFC have yet to stop, and they carry on for another lap. So, you know, the likes of Greeny, Flying Foam, Blue Mosquito, they will have strong tyre performance towards the end of the race. Definitely be ones to keep an eye on. Maxi Luca not quite close enough. Let's see if there's any other. There's two really close battles at the moment. The closest battle really is Maxi Luca versus QBR Beast. There's no other close track actions. They're kind of waiting for pit stops to figure out. So let's compare the pace. Yeah, QBR Beast not really catching Big C. So in fact, he's lost about 7/10 since we last checked. A 10-second penalty for Hulkenberger. Cutting the chicane, I suspect. A miserable race for Hulkenberger. To be fair, he's quite rusty, and to be as well as dead for about, I don't know, 6 months or so. So he'll be just using this to get the practice in. Why not? You know, Blue Mosquito is on much older hearts, but fair play to him. He's only 1.8 seconds behind Big C. So that's a sign he could have some real pace in the final stint. Be a threat for the sort of middle points. I think a podium may be beyond him. You know, no sign of a safety car. You don't often get safety cars here because there's quite a lot of runoffs. You don't really get too many times. In turn 3, it's a dangerous corner short. The exit turn 9 can be dangerous as well. Outside of that, don't often get too many huge incidents here beyond the first lap. Here we go then, QBR Beast then right on the back of Greeny. Oh my goodness, he had so much more overspeed than the Williams, which on much older tyres of course. He nearly hit the rear of the car. And the yellows in sector 3, and that is Juho Finn. Juho Finn has binned it down at turn 12, or probably the exit of turn 11 I should say. So Juho Finn continuing to struggle. Simo sets the first lap of the race. Fresh mediums of course for him. Will he be a threat for the points later on? I think it may well be beyond him. It's 5.6 seconds behind Free Gloves and Capello, so he might be able to catch those two. But Maxi Luca, he's doing okay. So QBR Beast is not getting away from him. So if QBR Beast messes up this move on Greeny, assuming he doesn't pit again, it's like which I suspect he may well be about to. Maxi Luca may have a chance to get back ahead of him. Let's have a look at Blue Mosquito. Is he going to pit then through the New Holland chicane? He does pit. Will Flying Foam follow him? Yes, he does. What about behind? Greeny goes and pits. So everyone has now made at least one pit stop. And now, well, QBR Beast will get DRS of course because he was through the detection point as the car had pitted. So that means Maxi Luca will be frustrated in his attempts to get ahead of him. So we'll keep an eye out on Blue Mosquito, Flying Foam and Greeny. They're going to be quick in the closing stages of this race. Well, right behind them, there is a battle. Here we go then, down turn 4. Mr. Grumpy finding some pace on these hards on the Red Bull. Of course, the cars with better downforce do find the hards to come out a little bit easier. And round the outside of Powdy, he's going to try, he gets this move done. He's going to get it done. Yes, he does. Excellent move by Mr. Grumpy, using the full downforce of that Red Bull to great effect. The Blue Mosquitoes come out in P11, Flying Foam 13, Greeny in P14. So Blue Mosquito in particular, I think he will gain quite a few positions if he gets all his moves right in the closing stages. So with everyone pitting, the Big C has a 7.5 second lead to QBR Beast. Maxi Luca just behind. Juliana Manu keeping a watching brief in P4. take advantage of any mistakes the top three may make. Grumpy in P5. Grumpy may have a chance of catching Juliana Manu to get up to P4. So he picks up another time penalty. Powdy in P6. All Cats trying to get ahead of Iran. Iran, as ever, will be a highly stubborn character to try and get ahead of. So I think in terms of the on-track action, I think we're going to be looking at the likes of Blue Mosquito on these fresh mediums, and I think he's going to get his first victim here. Red Bull versus Renault. This should be a no contest. Game Freaker is just going to wave him by. Thanks for coming. Up to P10. Into the points goes Blue Mosquito. Meanwhile, Iran being caught by All Cats. They're going to have to get a bit of a move on because Blue Mosquito, he's coming for them. If Blue Mosquito plays his card right, he could get as high as P6. A long way to take these mediums though. We're only on lap 21. They should get to the end because as the fuel burns off, the tyre wear is less severe. Wow, you just see the Red Bull in the background, how much more commitment he can take to the corners. I mean, he'll be on the back of Udi's in no time whatsoever. Actually, Lucas still within DRS and PBRBs. Actually, the last lap or so, PBRBs are taking about 4/10 out of Big C. You know, Big C probably saving battery at the moment. I mean, he's got literally, he must have, no, he's actually not got that much battery, so you would think he'd save a bit more at this stage of the race, but he's choosing not to. Comfortable with the gap he's got at the moment. So we get a nice helicopter view. Well, let's have a look at Ugi Azim. It's Ugi Azim getting onto the back. Oh, being caught by Blue Mosquito. Well, looks like he could be. Let's have a look at Flying Throne. Flying Throne, though, looks like he's ready to attack. Has to go for it now. And down the inside. Well, it's not down the inside. He's way past before the corner. Easy as you like. Flying Throne the aim to get the top 10. And it's another spin for Juho Finn. Oh, goodness me. Not a good outing. Not a good outing at all. So here comes the action then for the next few laps. Iran versus Cat, Ugi Azim and Blue Mosquito. Look at Blue Mosquito all over the back of that Renault. He's got so much more grip. It's so much easier for him to commit to these corners. Get the harder braking points and gain the time. I think he'll be half thinking if he can get a good exit about move on Ugi Azim down into the actually, to be fair to Ugi Azim, that was an experienced exit out of turn 9. Easy defence. Blue Mosquito didn't even think about going for a move there. There was no way he was going to get a chance to. Such was the quality of that turn 9 exit from Ugi Azim. However, after the New Holland chicane, as they start the 23rd lap, it could be a different story. Because Ugi Azim is going to be up against Honda engine power, which compared to the Renault is superior straight line speed. Look at All Cats up ahead as well. Can he get ahead of Iran? Not quite close enough, but I think this move will definitely happen. About All Cats. All Cats thinking about move here. Will he go down the inside? Yes, he will. Lay on the brakes. Iran going late on the brakes on the outside, and superb defence by Iran. That was trademark defence from Iran. We've seen that so many times over the years. And All Cats would have respected that defence, and Iran will continue it. Now can All Cats go around the outside? Iran will place the car to the middle part of the corner to make it simple, and yes, he forces him off. But it wasn't so much that he forced him off, he just put himself in a position where All Cats really should have just backed off and followed Iran into the following corner. He was never going to overtake him at that point. He didn't have the space really. Iran was perfectly entitled just to carry on where he was. It's not like he came across and raced him off, he was just took the corner so superbly. All Cats had nowhere really to overtake him. Should have backed off. But here comes Blue Mosquito. Can Iran defend this position? Yes, Iran comfortable defence with Blue Mosquito, kind of half a look really. And Game Freak is now being caught by Flying Throne, so there's going to be some more overtakes about to happen. Mr. Grumpy's on the back of Juliana Manu incidentally, so maybe just have a quick look at him and see if there's a prospect of a move. Juliana Manu is being caught by the Red Bull, so I think he's going to be quite close. There'll be yellow in sector 2. I think that may have been Simo having a spin. Blue Mosquito not able to catch Iran, the Ferrari engine power that has doing a superb job in here. Look at Greeny just behind. Flying Throne Cisco ahead of Game Freak, and Greeny's ahead of CC Brain, so William gets demoted. And Three Gloves overtakes Cablo. It's been a miserable day for the two Ferrari drivers. And they both had decent qualifyings as well, so I don't know where their race pace has gone. It's a very, very 2019 Ferrari situation. So Blue Mosquito attempts once again to get ahead of Aaron F1. Yeah, blue. Oh, and look at that in the background. Oh, it's a spinner. Oh, what the heck? Well, Ugi Zim almost like, oh, please don't re-enter the track here. There you go. Ugi Zim with a huge accident. That almost sums up his race day. Qualifying top of the world. Race, it's gone to hell completely. So Mr. Grumpy now attempts to overtake Johnny Anamanu. He is much, much closer this time. Johnny Anamanu puts his car to the right in a vain attempt to try and stop the Red Bull's momentum. Johnny Anamanu, though, will place the car beautifully in the defence. No way through. Blue Mosquito now trying to attack Aaron. Aaron again late on the brakes and beautifully. Oh, and there's contact behind though. Blue Mosquito has damaged his wing. Swallowing a little bit too close, and the loss of downforce in turn 3 will be disastrous instantly for him because the McLaren driver is a virtual safety car. Ugi Azim has retired from the race. He's actually binned it in quite a strange position right on the final corner. Not a full safety car. Anyone consider a pit lane? I think by the time they get to the pit lane, it would have already come back in. So I don't think anyone's going to pit at this stage. If there's a full safety car, they definitely would. So at the moment, it's actually where Big C is trying to keep it in that delta. Doesn't want to get a time at this late stage. What a shame Blue Mosquito is. He was getting such momentum. And to answer Kryptonite's question, no, it is performance cars. Performance cars, so 2019 style performance, but ultimately it is still down to the driver to get the very best out of these 2019 machines. So battle joined again between Iran and All Cats and Mr. Grumpy. Mr. Grumpy pits. Mr. Grumpy pits. Is that wing damage from Mr. Grumpy? I think it might be. It is. Mr. Grumpy, I don't know if he hit the back of Johnny Manu earlier. But here comes All Cats trying to make a move around the outside of Iran, and this time gets the move done with the DRS assistance. Not even Iran could defend that. It was long gone. Look at that flying throne then. Right behind the Red Bull, the Blue Mosquito, that wounded ball. Losing part of his front wing. You can see the missing end place on the right hand side. Flying throne dives down the inside, and with the superior downforce, Blue Mosquito will naturally slide and understeer to the outside of the corner. He's going to try and defend it, to be fair to him, but he's just not going to have the downforce to cover off on the traction, and that is Flying Throne up to P8, and he could still get P6 by the end of the race. So Flying Throne's had a good recovery. So that was a very pedestrian qualifying session. P8 he is, so your main winners, you know, Blue Mosquito's gained 6, so if you finish, you could still gain a hatful of places. Greeny, 6 places gained, 5 gained HDE. Cablo has lost 9 places from the start. I think, yeah, Grumpy's going to be a real contender for fast lap simmer as well. It's now at P16. He must have had contact Johnny Evan because he was battling him, so it must have been some sort of big contact. As we enter the closing stages of this pre-season race, one thing that is clear is that QPR Beast and Big C, at least if they're in the Toro Rosso, they're going to be big competitors perhaps in this championship. I mean, they are comfortably clear of the rest. I mean, the reigning champion John Lemanu is going to have a lot to think about as he watches this. Iran's going to try and cover the inside, but here comes Flying Throne. Flying Throne going to go for a move? No. He knows Iran too well to attempt to move like that. He would know Iran would slam that door shut in his face firmly. The way Iran defends, it's fair defending, but he's almost enticing the car to outbreak themselves and damage to their wing. And that's, you know, it's not the driver in front doing the code, it's just because he's placing the car in such a way that unless it's a clear opportunity, you do not even think about going for a move. And that is half the secret of good defending. It's making it so difficult to make a move. Oh, and there's been an off. Oh, HDE has gone way off the track. It's been a theme of this race. Mercedes going off. Let's go back to the battle for P7 because now Flying Throne, Blue Mosquito game, Freaker and Greeny. This is a five-way train. Here we're trying to defend his position on the points. Here comes Flying Throne. Flying Throne, fresher mediums. Here comes Flying Throne. He's got better mediums. Oh, he's trying to go around the outside. No, Aaron again. Late braking, superb defending. As you'd expect from the three-time PSGL champion. He's certainly, at least racecraft-wise, showing he's still got it. He has half a chance of the move. No chance of the move at turn 4 or 5. So he's going to have to bide his time again. Quite big gaps ahead of them. So this is your main on-track action as we enter the last few laps here at Circuit to Barcelona, Catalunya. But it's been pretty entertaining. I mean, the battle for lead, kind of a non-event once Big C got ahead of All Year's Eve, which I believe is, I think, the only overtake he's done in the whole race, outside of those who were out of position, which were comfortable DRS overtakes. Blue Mosquito still hanging in there, but I think he is starting to struggle a lot with that reduced downforce on damage mix. I think Greeny will be licking his lips at the prospect of getting another position from him, because even a car like the Red Bull is badly affected by even a little bit the last one. We're in sector 1. And Keep Your Beast has had an off in the opening corner. Oh goodness, Maxi Luca's ahead of him. So Keep Your Beast, that is not good news for him. And oh, late move by Aaron to prevent Throne from getting off, but no problem with that. Throne getting a little bit frustrated, just can't get ahead of this Haas. The car allocation was done by the organiser, but again, because we did this pre-season event to give the admins an idea of where the pace off. So when they do the proper allocation for round 1, it should be more balanced. So I think without the pre-season event, it would have been very difficult because a lot of these drivers haven't. Oh, and QPR Beast has gone off again. What on earth is going on? QPR Beast off again, and this time it was the fast. His tyres must have started to go off. Maybe he's just under a bit of pressure. And there's been another mistake on the main straight. That is Simo. Although he might have been actually slowed down and get out of the way. Yeah, QPR Beast has gone from P2 to P5. So Julian and Leo Pauli promoted P3, P4 respectively. And another incident. QPR Beast, I don't know what, he's lost his wing now, which I think came from the second incident. Oh wow, really not sure. But that is a dreadful. Lap 30 will be a lap 29 I should say, will be a lap that QPR Beast will want to forget for the rest of his F1 racing career, because that is absolutely heartbreaking for him. I mean, a Toro Rosso 1-2 was well on the cards, no doubt about it. He's now dropped well out of the points. Might get the fastest lap, perhaps. Aaron's still holding up this mini trainer cars. Arena goes very deep into turn 4, which may give Game Freaker half a chance of an overtake, but no, Greeny covers it off nicely. Some really good defending in this race. Just beautiful positioning of the car. Yellow's in sector 2, and that is Cablo. I mean, you tell some of these drivers perhaps need a little bit more practice before the season open on May 17th. Big C with that mistake from QPR Beast now has a 10-second advantage. So he is well clear. Free to go then, as Aaron still holds up this Gagor cars. I think some of the drivers have been laps now. Yeah, Joe and some have been laps now. All Cats in a very solid P5. It's had a decent race. Kind of had a difficult opening lap, but it's probably better. Here comes Blue Mosquito, damaged wing and all. He's going to try and make a move. Yes, he gets it done. We're going to see, can Blue Mosquito finally get ahead? No, with that reduced downforce, he just can't take it flat. Eric may have a chance to scamper clear here. suspect QBRB is about to set the fastest lap. No, he didn't actually. Interestingly. Fastest lap belongs to Grumpy, 1:25.77. Yellows in sector 2. That is Cablo again, I think. Yep, Cablo again. He'll be hoping for better things come the first event in Britain. We'll discuss the calendar briefly of the 6 race events. That is Formula Experience Season 2. And also a lap then here at Circuit Catalunya. Big C, Roland's way, and Simo has called it a day. Now time penalty. He's got some good laps in. He'll be thinking, well, I can't do any worse in the next race. CC Brain now on the back of Game Freaker, looking to snatch the final proverbial point. Yeah, he does. The race overtake. In sector 1 has Simo's car coming up. So Big C serenely heading down to turn 10. He's been in control of this race for some time now. As we head back to the action, because now Frome's trying to get ahead of his familiar rival, the Blue Mosquito. Blue Mosquito, despite the damaged wing, doing a pretty decent job holding on this car, but I think all this battling is now going to allow Iran to get away and seal that P6. I don't think he's got any time back to the front. Does have at least one. Ferrari still going around the track. He doesn't. Into the final lap then goes Big C. We're going to carry on for this battle for a few more moments, then we're going to catch the race winner across the line. Big C just making his way through sector 1 at the moment. A huge lead. Now flying Frome, maybe. Yeah, look at this queue of cars. I mean, battle for the final points. Here comes Free Gloves. Free Gloves going to try and get ahead of Game Freaker. He's going to try and slow the car down. Well, Game Freaker does cover him off in the end. Still battling away there. They're battling so hard all the race. So Big C then heading through turns 11, turn 12, 13. Crowd rises to applaud. Quick look back at them. Yep, still battling away. So Big C then heading through the final corner for the last time, lap 33, and he will take the pre-season win, showing all of his experience as he looks the clear favourite going into this race. But that may well, of course, depend on allocations as well. Let's have a look back at the action. Down the order, yellows in sector 3. Maxi Luca takes a very good P2. And Joliana Manu, the reign champion, takes P3. He'll be pretty pleased with that. Powdy in a solid P4. As the last of them begin to cross the line. So Iran's going to take P6. Blue Mosquito, despite damaged wing, will take P7. Flying Frome may slip a few places. He does. And actually Greeny goes up to P7. So that's a really good result for Greeny and the Williams. I mean, that's really good effort. But the day belongs to Big C. Big C, he won the Formula Performance event yesterday in PSGL, and now he's won the warm-up for this performance event, Formula Experience. So he's had an amazing 24 hours, showing some of the qualities that made him that 7-time PSGL F1 champion. So big congratulations. With the penalties, he won by 16.5 seconds. So that is incredible. But the results of this pre-season race will certainly have an effect on the allocations. So you suspect Big C may be put in a slower car after this. But who knows? There's a lot of money being exchanged in the admin. Corruption is rife. So you could see Big C in a Mercedes next week. You never know. 3 very familiar PSGL F1 faces. All F1 race winners in PSGL. Big C, of course, a champion. And it will, inevitably, invariably, it may well be the PSGL F1 veterans who will be the main talking points of this championship. But we'll see some surprises during the course season, I'm sure. But here is your race result then. Big C taking the race win from Maxi Luca and Jordan Manu making up the podium. Powdy in a very, very commendable 4th place. All Cats in P5. Iran from 11th to 6th, 17th to 7th for Greeny. That's arguably driver of the day material. Blue Mosquito in 8th, Free Gloves in 9th, Flying Crow in P10, CC Brain in 11th, Game Freak in 12th, Mr. Grumpy in 13th, HDE in 14th, Cablo in 15th, QPR Beast, who was so long in the battle for the podium, ended up P16 after that mistake. Duo Finn in 17th, and we had 3 retirements. Simo and Ugi Zim, and Hulkenberg was disqualified. So with that, that is your action over for the pre-season event, and now let's just have a brief look at the full lineup for Formula Performance. This event will start on May 17th. Now the races will actually be at 8 o'clock on Sundays after the PSGL current season has finished, and we will start at Britain before heading to Canada, Germany, Belgium, Brazil and Japan. So taking in some of the classic F1 tracks across the season. And well, Big C looks like the driver to beat. So big thank you to everyone who's watched tonight, and hope to see some more of you there when we kick off the action in a couple of weeks' time. Thanks for watching, and goodbye for now.